Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans, where we play some Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me along with NPR. I am Trevor Stewart 1308, your host, and we are here with the associate producer, Kat, and the peanut gallery in the background. And, oh, no, I can hear you, can't I? Can I hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I don't know. Can I hear you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have ears.
All right, so we are playing Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me along with NPR today with the special guest on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me being Gary Oldman. So this should be fun. Before we get into it, though, let's do today's ad read. Today's pre-rolls are brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks between 10,000 Villages and Hamilton's, where the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. And they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research, which might be highly biased. Remember to check websites for events and times. I think that was the ad read. I think I got the ad read completely right this time. So, now, dropping stuff.
Well, that's because you got it right this time, so now you have to drop the things.
Right, of course. So it's Murphy's Law. So let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, no, I do have something I wanted to say before we got started. We are currently in, at time of recording, we are in the fall fund drive for the local NPR station, Radio IQ.
Mm-hmm.
What are the call letters? Can you remember?
RIQ.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in any case, they are, public radio, it relies on mostly public donations to function. They don't run commercials. They don't take corporate sponsorships in that way. They do have corporate underwriters here and there, but it's not the same as taking a sponsorship or running commercials. And they only receive a very small amount of funding from the government. And for being a resource for objective news reporting and non-commercial radio, they are, in my opinion, an invaluable resource in the community. And being that they run off of donations, I think, and we here at Nikwork Entertainment and Nestor Industries think, that you should be donating to your local NPR station. The radio, or the phone number to donate here to our local radio station is 1-800-896-8900. That's 1-800-896-8900 to donate to the local NPR station, Radio IQ, which is how I get most of my news and where we get access to our Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Thank you for listening to that. And now we can get started. Yes?
I assume so.
All right. Let's make sure you can hear this.
Support for this podcast
Can you
and
hear
the
it?
following message come from the Southern Environmental Law Center and its podcast.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. Hey there, Chicago. I'm Aisha Roscoe, filling in for Bill Curtis. And this was supposed to be my day off, but I'm here. And here's your host at the Studebaker Theater at the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you all so much. We have a great show for you today. Later on, we're going to be talking to the fabulous actor Gary Oldman about his hit spy show, Slow Horses. But first, we are so excited to welcome Aisha Roscoe to our show. She is
Hi, Aisha.
host of Weekend Edition Sunday. She's going to be our special guest judge and scorekeeper, filling in for Bill. And I have to ask you, Aisha, you have one of the most prestigious gigs at NPR News. You host one of the big shows. Why in the world would you ever want to do this?
Well, you know, look, I have 3 kids, so anything to get out of the house, I just got to get.
I understand.
I needed just some mommy time.
I get that, you know? All right. Well, Aisha, it's great to have you on the show. Out there, you want to be in the show, it's easy. Just give us a call and you'll win our prize, the voice of anyone you might choose for your voicemail. The number is 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Let's welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Jamie from Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Jamie, how are things in Madison?
They're awesome.
I am so glad. That is one of my favorite cities in the world. Beautiful college town in the center of Wisconsin. What do you do there?
I run the Dane County Farmers Market, the largest producer-only farmers market in the country.
That is fabulous.
That is really neat.
There's nothing that's going to get you more crowd applause on NPR than you run a farmer's market. The biggest in the country. You can't see this, but everybody here is standing up there.
Yeah.
People are taking their underwear off and throwing them at the stage. We're not her.
Yeah.
Relax.
Well, welcome to the show, Jamie. Let me introduce you to our panel this week. First, you just heard him. He's an actor, writer, and the director of Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. It's Peter Gross.
Wait, what?
Next, he's a comedian turned fashion designer who'll be premiering his fall-winter line on October.
All right, we need to discuss 2 things. One, I obviously have holes in my mouth. I managed to just spill my coffee all over myself.
Right.
2, Peter Gross, this Peter Gross is directing Megalopolis?
I believe so.
Holy mackerel. Okay. Okay. So that puts a different spin on it for me then. Because looking at the trailer for it, it felt a lot like angry white man with a vision saves the world. And, you know, that doesn't feel like a plot I feel the need to see again, you know? Even though Adam Driver, and it looks visually stunning, and I hate to say it, but one of my more boring passions is a passion for civil design. Like, actually looks like this would be up my alley if it weren't another angry white man saves the world movie. But if our Peter Gross directed it, I think I might be willing to give it a try.
I don't know. It sounds like it'd be extra gross.
No, that's if Peter Gross and Terry Gross worked together on directing it. That's extra gross.
Well, get him to go back a couple seconds so he can say that again, because you know the writer for it is definitely Coppola.
Right. And that is definitely angry white man saves the world kind of a writer. I like Coppola's visions, but I don't necessarily like his executions. There's something in some of his almost very gothic vision that I really enjoy. But then there's also some problematic themes.
Right.
All right, back a few seconds. We're going back 15 seconds. See what
he said, so that I can compare it to what I'm reading on IMDb. Make sure I got the right personage.
First, you just heard him. He's an actor, writer, and the director of Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. It's Peter Gross.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's right now. It's got it listed as Coppola directing the movie, but it could be that he is going to be a co-director listed later. Because sometimes they change their thing after.
It also could just be a gag.
It could be a gag.
I mean, it's hard for me to believe that Coppola wouldn't direct his own flick.
This is true. But I will say that he's he was in another movie recently that I did like. So
who? Peter Gross? Peter
Yeah.
Gross? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's what movie was that?
The Menu.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, he's done some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really weird because I know him from this. I know him from Wait, Don't Tell Me. So it's always like, huh, he has other talents. Interesting.
It's kind of weird when you discover that your person goes and does things elsewhere that you don't know about.
Right. All right, back to it.
Okay.
Next, he's a comedian turned fashion designer who'll be premiering his fall-winter line on October 12th at Chicago Fashion Week. It's the Prince of Bronzeville. It's Brian Babylon.
Hey! Hi, Brian. Love Brian Babylon.
He's a comedian and writer for TV shows like Late Night with Seth Meyers and Pachinko, which is streaming now on Apple TV. It's Karen Chi.
Hi, Karen.
So you are going to play
Chi?
Who's
Yes.
Aisha this time. Aisha Rasco, filling in for Bill Curtis, is going to read you 3 quotations from this week's news. If you can correctly identify or explain just 2 of them, you will win our prize. Any voice from our show you might choose for your voicemail. Are you ready to do this?
Yep.
All right. Your first quote is from New York Mayor Eric Adams.
You take out the garbage, you see one run across your feet, you think
Rats.
about it all day.
That was Adams. Speaking at this week's first ever National Summit to discuss the battle against what?
Rats.
Rats, yes. New York City hosted the National Urban Rat Summit this week, joined by delegations from Chicago, Boston, Seattle, and other disgusting cities.
I'll give you a point because even if you
Eric
didn't
Adams
say
has
it,
made
you knew it.
battling rats the centerpiece of his time as mayor, proving that rats are the only constituency not currently bribing someone in the Adams administration.
Why would he pick a battle he knows he can't win?
I know.
That's like, you're never going to beat the rats, bro.
Right. Yeah, it's like, it's me versus the mosquitoes, and I want you to judge me at the end of the summer. If you got one mosquito bite, they won.
I gotta say, as a New Yorker, I feel like it's not the New Yorkers who are like trying to get rid of rats. It's actually just very nice of the rats to let us live in their city.
Right.
You know, the one thing about like New York life and rats is like you almost turn into like Michael Jackson videos because it's always quick. Like, you know, was that a rat? You know, everything is like quick neck motions like of your peripheral vision. Like, oh, there was a rat.
And that's why, and everybody's going,
Yeah.
Walking around on their
Summit
toes all the
invited,
time.
Pest control experts and scientists from across the nation to discuss tips and strategies, and it was a really nice little touch. In the sort of classic New York tradition, each visiting expert had a rat waiting in their hotel room for them when they arrived.
I know, I bet all those people are like, can we do this somewhere other than New York City? How about a rat summit where we talk about the rats, but we're in Miami?
That would be nice. All right, Jamie, Jamie, for your next quote, here is someone on TikTok gushing about their new fun pastime.
You get to eat at your desk, you get weekends off, and you get to wear cute little outfits.
That was one of the thousands of young people who are now posting videos just to brag about their what?
Job?
I have no idea.
Well, this
customer service job?
This is the sort of thing we thought young people nowadays hated and would never do. Remember, she said you get to eat at your desk and you get weekends off.
Working
Teacher?
a 40-hour work week?
Exactly. Working office jobs.
Wow.
Forget about being an artist or an influencer. Now the coolest thing you can be is an entry-level customer service manager. People used to go on about their cool side hustles.
I'm not giving
now everybody's
myself a
bragging
point for
about
that.
their front hustle. One of these so-called corporate bullies on TikTok listed the benefits of an office job.
What was that?
He did mention customer service.
I did say customer service rep, but he said customer service manager.
Okay, fine.
If I'd have said CSR or customer service, maybe, but I said rep specifically, and he said manager specifically. So, in the name of fairness, I won't give myself a point.
As, quote, get to eat at your desk, listen to music and podcasts, you get weekends off and free coffee. You know who else gets all those benefits? An unemployed person who goes to AA meetings.
I think it's also just like the Gen Z obsession with like making everything nameable and a thing and a trend. Like at some point they're going to be like, hey, I'm just sitting here, I'm doing this cool thing with my lungs where they squeeze in and air comes out of them. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I need more air in them. So I breathe in and I'm told hashtag breath life. Like, everything has to be like named. And like
hashtag living.
Oh god, no,
the oxygen girly.
Oxygen. No, the respiration challenge was like so 2023.
But if you failed the respiration
Actually,
challenge,
no, that
you
was
deserve to
2019 to 2020.
I'm sorry to be mean.
If you can't breathe, you don't deserve to live.
All right. Jamie, your last quote is from an interview that the BBC did.
We're afraid somebody will tell us we smell.
That was an environmentalist joining the growing number of experts who say that what daily habit is unnecessary?
Showering?
Bathing?
Bathing, yes, exactly right. Experts say that there is no actual health benefit to a daily shower. And we only do it because, as you heard, we don't want other people to think we smell. Now, I might be wrong, but doesn't that sound like a good enough reason?
Right? Exactly.
Who is this expert? Jabba the Hutt? You don't need to shower, baby. Yeah, I think this is just the patchouli lobbyist.
What?
So the experts were like 3 different golden retrievers in lab coats.
I mean,
teenage boys, yeah.
Golden retrievers are always in lab coats. Yeah. You know, I gotta say I disagree because I think that the human bio whatever our bio thing.
They're just saying that it is not necessarily. It is not necessary daily. They're not saying that it is not necessary at all.
Well,
just
not
daily.
What I'm saying is that our biome, the human biome in general, has gotten used to being washed daily. So now, if you don't keep that up, it starts producing funny smells to tell you that you're not doing what it is expecting you to do. It may not harm you in any way exactly, but your biome is going to be like, hey, and, you know, produce funny smells to get your attention.
My view is I work in a particular field that involves great deals of other people's bodily fluids ending up on me throughout the day.
Yeah, you do. Ew.
I want a bath.
No, right?
I don't care if they say that we don't need it. I want it. Preferably at boiling levels.
With just a dash of bleach, just to make sure.
No bleach. No bleach. I'm good. I have vinegar. I'm great.
Of course, do try to remember, most of these experts are doing studies on your average office worker who probably doesn't even have to break a sweat daily.
And is not in contact with the general public in any way, shape, or form on a daily thing.
However, I do think their biome has probably still gotten used to getting washed every day. So if it doesn't, it will make funny smells.
In which case, the rest of us can look at them and go, "You smell funny."
Yep. I noticed that my biome, when I changed my my cleaning habits drastically, when I started using oil to keep my skin from, sloughing off, my biome changed and started smelling funny if I wasn't, getting the oil off of my skin in a timely fashion.
Which makes absolute sense.
And then when I switched away from being constantly oiled up, my biome was again confused for a bit and made funny smells until it got used to being back to just washed once a day. So, now, the plural of anecdote is not data.
No.
And this is just an anecdotal story.
Yeah.
However, it is a story of personal observation.
And if you collect enough of those, eventually they become data points.
Yes. However, I don't plan on going around and collecting data points like that from other people.
No, we leave that to the other people. Our job is to report on the data points that they collected. And the data points they obviously did not collect enough of before saying baths are not needed.
Right.
Which you're probably very correct. Oh, wonderful peanut gallery that they meant not every day because of blah, but
right. Right. Like you're not gonna get sick and die if you bathe only like every couple of days or twice a week.
Yes.
You will be fine. You might just smell funny.
Like a clown.
Hopefully not that funny.
Because everything's gotta be funny through that clown nose. It can't smell normal. All right, back to it.
We'll try.
Trying to
there we go.
The idea is that you don't need to do it. You especially don't need to clean yourself with soap every day because that actually hurts your healthy biome.
Patchouli.
Patchouli. Yeah! It's like you only need to do it if you sweat excessively, and I'm like, well, I'm out. Okay.
So if you have a day where you don't sweat, you don't really do much, and you're like, I'm not going to see anybody and no one's going to smell me, then don't shower.
If you're depressed.
Yeah, right.
But don't tell anybody you don't shower. Keep that to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
I think maybe if you don't shower enough, you won't be able to keep it to yourself.
Exactly. No, the new rule
is very obvious.
You only have to shower when the waves of stink are visibly leaving your body like a mirage.
Like cartoonish stink lines. You know what that is? Have you noticed that you're much dirtier at hotel towels when you dry off? you're like much dirtier. Like, wow.
I've noticed that.
Have you noticed that?
They're so white. They're so white.
They're so white and clean. You're like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, this
and
is
you're
melanin? It's like...
The Peters are like, no, we've never
I've never
experienced
had that.
that.
What are you talking about?
What is that?
They're like, our towels get even whiter when we're done.
I love a good hotel towel.
Aisha, how did Jamie do in our quiz?
She killed it. She's, 3 out of 3.
There you go, Jamie. Well done. Thank you so much for playing.
That's funny.
Thank you.
I'll look for you at the farmer's market when I am next in Madison during season.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye. Take care. Right now, panel, it is time for you to answer some questions about this week's news. Brian, the latest dating trend on social media is the 666 method. A woman, or I guess anyone, who uses it will be looking for what?
Damien, I did this for you! I mean, is it not?
It's not the devil. It's not Satan.
It's not the Antichrist.
It's not the Antichrist.
What?
6 foot, 6 figure, 6 inches.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wow. 6 feet, 6 figures, 6 inches?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what it is.
well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. What? You guys are cracking up a little.
We'll see what it is. We'll find out.
All right.
Okay. It's 6?
666. They refer to 6 measurements. That,
Okay.
Rather, I should say 3 measurements that'll have to be at least 6.
So 6 feet tall.
Right?
6-figure salary.
Right?
How do you say this
Karen
politely?
wants you to say. Not what Karen wants you to say.
I got 2 out of 3.
You got 2. You got 2. You get 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall.
You get 6-figure salary. And it is a physical attribute, but it's not what Karen is constantly trying to get you to say.
I'm not. The listener at home, I'm being so respectful.
I'll give you a hint. This is what you want to see when he takes his shirt off.
Whoa.
Oh, 6-pack.
6-pack. 6
6
nipples.
feet tall.
Yeah.
6-figure salary and a 6-pack.
Because the thing is, I only have like 4 packs.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just kidding. I mean,
I will explain all. The 6-6 rule has been around for years, but recently it's having.
What was that?
I'm 7 foot with a 6-pack. I have a full keg.
Right? I've got a case. Seriously, it looks like when I take my shirt off, it looks like I have a square front. Like,
Have you tried adjusting the poly count on your computer? You're lowering your mode.
I did, and I came out looking like Optimus Prime. It's weird. My front literally looks like Optimus Prime. My boobas are large and square like his windshield, like his windscreen. And then I have this weird, like, my pectoral area, or not my pectoral, my ab area is like this sort of the front of a Mack truck shaped. It's square and just sort of forward, or rectangular and forward. It is really weird. I tried working.
You're Lego Man.
Basically, I tried working out, doing a lot of crunches and stuff like that to get it to do something other. And it just reinforced it. It made it look more like that.
See, I think you took it too literally when they said built like a brick house.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're right. It's really weird too, because like most of the time you can see my ribs, Even when I'm like not super skinny, you can still see my ribs. You can see the muscles on the sides. But then the front is just this like Mack truck looking thing. And then to make it even more amusing looking, I have a muffin top.
See, you say Mack truck looking, and I'm just like, are you talking about the Mack truck, or are you talking about the truck from Maximum Overdrive?
There's that as well.
No, I'm talking about Optimus Prime. My front looks like Optimus Prime's front.
And you're going to be home every weekend now, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to become a fun Sunday stream. All right, back to it.
Recently, it's having a resurgence as women are trying to be much more specific about what they're looking for in the dating apps.
Oh.
It's a very efficient way to streamline the dating process, find your ideal man, and also get catfished.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the third thing to be superficial about.
Exactly.
So this is a hashtag on the dating apps.
Yeah, it is.
Like, walks in the...
What was that?
Very efficient way to completely delete the entire dating pool.
Yep. Yep, it is.
on the beach looking for 666.
Yep, right.
But if you're a warlock, you're like...
Thank you.
Walking alone.
If you're a warlock, thank you. Thank you. That is hilarious.
My God, what is this? A work of perfection, just a walking this way. Makes me wanna say that you're a tall drink of water. You got it everywhere.
Well, that's the way to avoid copyright strike.
Coming up, our panelists hit the bullseye in our Bluff the Listener game.
Yeah,
1-888 Wait to Play. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. From it's free and easy to use.
I realized,
and
yeah,
good
if we
RX
talk
before you
over
head to
those
Farm-Raising runs in the
interstitials,
family.
it'll
crafting
do
a
it.
mover. Sierra Nevada Brew.
Yeah, I will.
Choose from over 40.
And last time doing the admin.
With Peter Gross, Brian Babylon, and Karen Chi. And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thanks, Aisha. Thank you so much. Right now, it is time for the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888 Wait to play our game in the air, or you can always check out the pinned post on our Instagram page, which is at WaitWaitNPR, to find all that information. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Natalie from Plainfield, Illinois.
Hey, Natalie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We got some Plainfield fans here in Chicago. What do you do there?
I'm an elementary school teacher.
Yes!
Oh, baby.
You've got even more fans of elementary school teachers. Well, welcome to the show, Natalie. You're going to play our game in which you must try to tell truth from fiction. Aisha, what is...
The only thing that gets you more applause than running a farmer's market in that audience.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Aisha, what is Natalie's topic?
It happened at Target.
Who doesn't love Target? You can get anything there. You can get your groceries, your latest fashions, you get your credit card declined. Anyway, this week we learned about something really unusual that went down at one particular Target store. Our panelists are going to tell you about it. Pick the real one. You'll win the Wait Waiter of your choice in your voicemail. You ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, first let's hear from Brian Babylon.
Portland, Maine. Portland's Target store is in damage control after the latest eco-friendly product, the organic, non-toxic vegan bed bug extermination kit, led to a full-blown cockroach takeover. The kit, priced at $90, came with everything the eco-minded person who wants to get rid of bed bugs needed: essential oils, special natural detergents, and of course, a colony of cockroaches in a hemp burlap pouch. Since cockroaches are the natural predator of bed bugs, the idea is once the bed bugs were gone, the roaches would just leave, right? Spoiler, wrong. They didn't leave. Instead, they multiplied in the Target store faster than a kombucha recipe at a Portland potluck. Jasper Moonbeam, an elementary teacher, had a close encounter in the coffee aisle. I reached for my fair trade espresso, and then bam, a cockroach runs across my hand. I haven't screamed like that since the farmer's market ran out of heirloom tomatoes. Target is offering refunds, Pixar is thinking about making this into a movie, and Portland's cockroach population is booming sustainably, of course.
The eco-friendly organic bedbug kit led to a cockroach infestation at a Target in Portland, Maine. Your next trip to Target comes from Karen Chi.
Drivers in Ohio were alarmed on Sunday morning when they saw an SUV driving erratically on the freeway. Eyewitness Justin Kimmery told the New York Times that he saw a car going, quote, all over the road. When Kimmery pulled up by the car to investigate himself, he was shocked. He couldn't see anyone behind the wheel. Was it a ghost or a self-driving car? No, it was the scariest thing of all, an 8-year-old girl. It's true. Neighborhood cameras show a spunky elementary schooler in Bedford, Ohio, leaving home at 7 a.m., hopping into her mom's Nissan Rogue, and driving 13 miles to Target with shocking success. As well as $400 of her parents' money. And her parents apparently didn't even notice she had left the house until 2 hours later. Police located the girl sitting in the Target's Starbucks, where she was enjoying a Frappuccino and I assume, quietly regretting the life choices that led her there.
An 8-year-old girl takes herself in her parents' car down to the local Target, 13 miles away. Your last shopping topic comes from Peter Gross.
Best friends Jennifer Insel and Leah Golmy are managers at the Target in the Crossgates Mall in Albany, New York, and are big Francophiles. After the Olympics in Paris this summer, they had a brainstorm. Everyone jokingly calls Target Target, Golmy told News 32 Albany. So we thought, what if we made our Target totally French? This week they did just that. Every sign was rewritten in French, the cheese aisle in the grocery section was stocked with stinky blue cheeses, and the employees smoked, were rude to the customers, and went on strike every 20 minutes. Reactions to the Frenchification varied. Some were downright confused. I had no idea what they were saying, and I thought I was having a stroke. The biggest negative reaction came not from customers, but from overly patriotic employees at a different store in the mall who responded by changing the name of their store to Oh Bone Pain and selling deep-fried bacon-wrapped hot dogs dipped in nacho cheese, ketchup, and whipped cream.
All right. Something interesting happened at a particular Target location this last week. Was it from Brian Babylon? A Target in Portland, Maine was infested by cockroaches which came in their new organic bed bug eradication kits.
No.
Was it from Karen Chi? A Target in Ohio was visited by an 8-year-old girl who managed to drive their parents' car. Or from Peter Gross, a Target in upstate New York converted for real into a Target. Which of these was the real Target-oriented story in the news we found?
Well, speaking as someone who teaches many 8-year-olds, I'm going to go with Karen's story.
You're going to go with Karen's story, the little girl. The audience seems to agree.
Yeah.
Well, we actually, to bring you the real story, spoke to the person who covered this for the New York Times.
An 8-year-old girl was found at the Target without a scratch, just a Frappuccino in hand and a busted mailbox.
That was Gina Sherless, who reported on the tiny shopper story for the Times. Congratulations, Natalie. You got it right.
Wow.
You earned a point for Karen, but more importantly, you have won our prize, the voice of anyone you might choose for your voicemail.
Thank you so much.
This has been a thing.
And congratulations on all the good work you do.
Thank you.
This has been a thing on the show more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like that. That's the that they don't pull that one out unless it's the real thing usually.
I mean, yeah, but they had a couple things of that to pick from in like the last week or so, because I believe there was also a story this week of a kid that wanted to go to grandma's house and drove themselves there.
Wow.
It was like,
I'm just saying.
I going to Grandma's house and I'm taking your car with me.
My question is, they said that she had $400 with her. Other than Frappuccino, which at Starbucks, it may have cost that much. What else did she buy?
Nothing. And it was the Frappuccino.
Okay.
She had some change left over. About
30 cents?
I was going to say $12, but sure. All right, back to it.
She's eating up the road with the shark's tooth grill. All the other cars think they're standing still.
Yay, okay.
You better pull over, this car's too much.
What?
I tell you, man.
A song choice.
Yeah. Yeah, they do this a lot. They get the right interstitial music quite a lot. It's always fun.
We call Not My Job. Decades ago, James Bond established the stereotype of the British spy. Handsome, suave, perfectly dressed.
We're an ad break, and because of what who this is, I'll wait till we come back.
This is fair.
Although I don't really think there's anybody in the...
There's nobody in the chat under viewers. We do have one person hanging out for the moment.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah. Well, that could be me. Because I have... Oh.
No,
hey!
It is.
It's Iggy. Hi, Iggy! Yeah. Great to see you.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why we're on ad break. Yeah. Yeah. We get our ad breaks warnings early.
Yep.
And we are back from ad.
Yes.
And hello, Iggy Marauder. Good to see you.
Yep.
Okay, now, some Gary Oldman. Because I love me some Gary Oldman.
Dressed with impeccable manners. We're happy to report that is now obsolete. The new model MI5 agent is the slovenly, flatulent Jackson Lamb, played by Gary Oldman. In the hit Apple TV series Slow Horses. We are delighted to talk to him now. Gary Oldman, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your character in the show, Jackson Lamb.
Jackson Lamb, it was once a very, very good agent working for, MI5. He, what we see when we meet him in Slow Horses is the sort of smouldering embers of a man that was once legendary.
In my view, and I've been around and I've seen a lot of great TV, film, theater. I think that Jackson Lamb has the greatest character introduction I have ever seen. When we meet Jackson Lamb, he's having a nap in the office, and he farts himself awake. I mean, let's face it, you've done a lot of good work in your career, Gary, but I don't know if you've ever done anything that immediately evocative.
But we do. I never thought I'd see the day where I'm having email exchanges with the director, talking about the quality of farts. But because I'm not a method actor, so they have to dub it off. Or should I say I'm not a methane actor? Anyway, so I find they dub on a sound, and then I'm exchanging emails with the director saying, it is on a leather seat, so it should be more robust.
Right.
A little squeakier.
Full of sound, and occasionally I might write, can we make it direct and a little wet around the edges?
I'm imagining. First, I'm a little disappointed to find out it wasn't you farting, but we understand that. It's all CGI these days.
Right.
And but I'm wondering because, let's face it, Jackson Lamb farts a lot in the course of his day. And I'm assuming that the sound designers, must have like a whole file of farts that are chosen from.
I was going to ask, is it like when you have a stand-in, like, if someone doesn't want to do a nude scene, they have a stand-in, is there somebody who is farting in place of you?
Yeah. Do you have a colon
stunt
double?
fart?
And actually, shouldn't that be the person nominated for an Emmy?
I'm just saying.
Being a little selfish, Gary.
Karen, to answer your question, I'm sure there's someone in a room.
And you were nominated for an Emmy. You were there.
Peanut Gallery says
if I'm
Foley
not mistaken,
farts.
You were caught up in the great Shogun sweep of all the awards, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they were nominated for 14 and they won 25.
It's amazing. How do they do that? Did you have a speech ready? I've always wondered about that.
Yeah, I think it's polite.
Yeah, and what do you do with it if you don't get to use it? That's the other question.
Well, more recently, my wife has been keeping them and throwing them sort of in a box in the archive, as it were.
Well, how many do you have?
Well, I've lost a lot. I've got quite a collection.
It's kind of fascinating, though.
You don't just use the same one. You don't name your agent. Just say your agent. You could use it for years.
Oh, no. What you can do though is, because you don't win and you don't get to speak it, no one knows. So what you do is you could dig one out from years ago and just change.
It's so good.
Because you go, oh, that was a good one. I never got to say that. And that was that was a good one. So.
Or cat.
Or you reuse the same one just year after year and go with, I'm just saying this. This is my thank yous.
Yeah.
There were plenty of black and white, silver screen Hollywood women that made it with, they've got their signature dress that they wore to every award show.
Yeah.
I see no reason not to have your signature speech that you use at every award show.
Right? That's true. However, high lockpick.
Oh, you got there first. Okay.
Mwah. Great to see you, Lockpick. Yes, you are late to the party as always, but it's okay. These are... Well, it's not even that because he never used any of these speeches.
Right.
So it wouldn't even be a signature speech. It'd just be like, no one knows. So he can just, pull it out and dust it off.
Your speech, and you show off your acting chops by making it seem like a different speech each time.
Ooh,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're winning more than once, I don't think you need to show off your acting chops. I mean, at that point, it's not even taking a victory lap. It's like...
So if you truly want to be rude about it, you show off your acting chops by delivering it different each time, but you specifically target it so that you're impersonating the losers.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the way to do it.
Yeah, that's That's gonna get you punched by
Everyone?
well, yeah, I was gonna say everyone, but what's his name? The one who does all the practical jokes. The one who is well known to be good natured.
Ashton Kutcher?
No.
No. I have no idea who you're talking about. I mean, when you said
Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Danny Ocean. He was in Roseanne.
George Clooney?
Clooney, thank you. Yes.
However, given the joke where he
Clooney,
and
thank you, Iggy.
Given the prank where he and Brad Pitt have been going on for decades at this point, I think that he might be like, that's an excellent idea, I'm going to do that next. Actually, no, he's more say that. That's an excellent idea, I'm going to do that next, but everything will sound like Brad.
Yeah, maybe he and Brad Pitt are that close now that he can do that. Maybe. All right, back to the show. Getting all distracted here.
Keep that one out and kind of like move with you. It's sort of cut and paste the thing, you know.
As long as you don't make references to like some rights or something of a country that doesn't exist anymore, where you're like, the people of Yugoslavia need their.
Gary, it is an absolute pleasure to talk to you again. And once again, we have asked you here to play a game, and this time we are calling it
The Slowest Horses of All.
You are, of course, star in slow horses, as we have discussed, so we thought we'd ask you about the very slowest horses, that is, hobby horses. Hobby horses are, of course, the toy. It's a stick with a horse's head. And people actually ride these hobby horses in competitive events called hobby horsing, where they go around gates and jump over fences and do dressage just like real horses. So, we're going to ask you 3 questions about hobby horsing. Get 2 of them right, you will win our prize for one of our listeners, the voice of anyone they may choose for their voicemail. Ayesha, who is Gary Oldman playing for?
Martin Oliver of Los Angeles, California.
All right.
Oh, goody.
Ready to do this? Have you heard or seen hobby horsing?
I have seen it. Yeah, it's pretty out there.
It's pretty out there. So
I think that's the biggest surprise
there are
so
many
far
videos
of all.
online, you can watch them. You'll notice that it's very popular with young girls. But according to Hobby Horse Riders Australia, boys are starting to get interested in the sport, but with a notable change. What is it? A, they prefer hobby war horsing with jousts. B, they make and ride hobby dinosaurs. Or C, boys' rules allow them to turn the horses around and pretend the sticks are guns.
I'm going to B.
I'm going to go with jousting.
You're going to go with jousting. That is a natural choice, but it's actually hobby dinosaurs.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old, by the way, could have explained this to you, but you still have 2 more chances, so you're all good here. The very first American Hobby Horse Championships were held just last month in Michigan. And the competitors who came had to deal with some significant obstacles, such as which of these? A, due to a quirk in Michigan law, the horses had to be stabled and given adequate food and water, even though they are not real. B, those who flew there could not bring their hobby horses on board the plane because they could be used as a weapon. Or C, the Northern Midwest Alliance for Animal Liberation, which on the first day of competition tried to liberate the, quote, spiritual horses.
A.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with C.
No, I'm afraid it was B. They could not bring the hobby horses onto the plane because they are essentially 4-foot-long sticks. You could use them as a weapon, so...
Okay, that was the obvious one.
Yeah, I know.
Right. That's why I couldn't go for it.
All right, you have
Too
one more
obvious.
chance here. Let's see what happens.
Point for the peanut gallery
Some
on that, at
competitors
least.
use the hobby horse for every event. But, you know, when it's time to retire your loyal hobby horse, don't worry, because you can always do what? A, bring them to Lincoln, Massachusetts, where they can live out the end of their days with other hobby and rocking horses in a grassy kind of pasture. B, just break them in half to create 2 hobby ponies. Or C, send them to a factory to be turned into wood glue.
Wood glue.
I'm thinking when you're done with the horse.
Yeah.
Hey, Retro.
I'm not saying that you literally turn it into 2 ponies, but you just snap the thing over your knee and throw it in the bin.
No, it was actually A. Nobody knows.
Did you say A?
Nobody knows who put the first rocking horse in this pasture near Lincoln, Massachusetts, but it has been joined over the years by dozens more hobby horses, rocking horses. So, Aisha?
Yeah.
How did Oscar-winning and sometimes, frankly, a little intimidating actor Gary Oldman do on our quiz?
Well, you know, I think that because he has lost a lot, and with
Did you get that last one?
I got the last one.
Okay.
Mostly because I
things
picked
like
things
that.
like
What?
So mostly, I picked A because I've seen things like that with teddy bears, so it doesn't take much more for me to go like, yeah, makes sense. We've got horses in the field too.
I was just thinking too logically. I was just being too logical about the whole thing.
Woo. It's okay.
I think we should give it to him.
I think you're right.
You're always a winner here.
If you happen to still have the Emmy speech handy, you can roll it out now. Well, congratulations on this big win. I hope it makes up for everything. Gary Oldman is an Oscar-winning actor, and if you have not yet watched him in the show Slow Horses on Apple TV, I envy you because you get to start from the beginning. Gary Oldman, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. What a pleasure to talk to you again. Take care. Awesome.
So, what surprised me there? What surprised me about Gary Oldman was how loud his voice is. I was not expecting his voice to be loud.
Helping the discover
I can see that.
on their financial advisor securities offer.
I'm Aisha Roscoe. We're playing.
His accent, I knew it was something like that, although I didn't know exactly what accent it was his.
Yeah.
But it's the volume. He plays so many quiet characters. Even the loud ones are so quietly loud that I don't think of him as a loud person. But
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
yeah, but see, even Zorg wasn't that loud. That's true, Iggy. He has done theater.
And if he's on a stage projecting to an audience.
Yep. And that's, one of the first things you learn when you do theater is how to be loud. He would know how to belt and throw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would.
And also in movies, they have an entire department that readjust the audio for everything.
This
Right.
is true.
Right. And it's, and when you're doing audio, voiceover audio for post for the dub, you can be up on the microphone as close as you want, and you can be as quiet as you want. You don't have to be loud.
Could you imagine getting to talk with some of the Foley people and the recording people? They're like, yeah, we always have to tone this guy down because he forgets he's not on a big stage and he's very loud.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what Iggy just said. He was actually screaming as Commissioner Gordon, and they turned him way, way down.
I could see that. I really could.
Yeah.
Somewhere else, there's got to be an interview with stagehands and a collection of people that have worked with various actors. Like, okay, so which one was the hardest one to mic? Which one was the hardest to deal with after they were mic'd?
Oh my God! It was Gary Oldman. He was the human version of a banjo. Oh, anybody who's had to mic bluegrass just felt my pain right there. I was like, oh yeah, the banjo. Oh God. Oh, all right, back to it.
Yep.
We're playing This Week with Brian Babylon, Peter Gross, and Karen Chi. And here again is your host at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Aisha. In just a minute, Aisha gets in a fight with a porcupine.
Let me turn it up.
Give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Right now, panel, some more questions for you from the week's news. Peter, according to the New York Times this week, there's something that we thought only happened to toddlers, but now we know it happens to adults too. What is it?
They make in their pants.
Wow.
Peter, what did you do?
We have meltdowns. We have tantrums.
Yes, tantrums.
Tantrums.
That's the answer.
Okay.
Psychologists have suggested that the reason small kids often have temper tantrums in the afternoon is because of, quote, after-school restraint collapse. The idea is they've been at school, preschool, whatever, behaving all day, following orders, they get home, all that pent-up stress comes pouring out. And adults have the same experience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, don't get upset at them. It's just a case of the terrible 32s.
That is true. After I've behaved so well on this panel, I always go back and just trash the dressing room. Yeah. Just curse like crazy.
I mean, if you think of it, it makes sense because, adults, what do? You go to work, right? You're dealing with crises, you're dealing with stress.
Yeah.
You just repress it all, you don't react, then you go home, you go directly into family life, and you blow up.
Oh, we're in ad break.
You just don't have a moment to just, decompress first. And also, because they...
Yep. I have an article about this that I give parents.
Oh, yeah?
And it's the title of the article is What to Do About the Wicked Witching Hour. And it's talking specifically about that period where they're home from school and you're home from work. And you're looking at the rest of the evening and the things that you've got to get done, like baths and homework and chores and dinner and all.
And they're looking at the same set of things and going, so much stress.
Right. And talking about how to handle it with your kids and acknowledging that this is a difficult point in your day.
Interesting.
Yes.
And has it been effective?
In some cases, yes. It does help with parents that have not looked at things
We're back from that break.
Do you want me to say what I said before?
Yeah, well, we can quickly go back over that. It's from Twitch. It's everybody was in ad break. We paused the thing so that, but yeah, what we were talking about was, what you called, you said you send paperwork home with parents, about, what you call the wicked witching hour and how to deal with it. And that's
the title of the article. And it's written by educators to help parents. And it's something that we came across, and for me, this is old news.
Yes.
This is an article from like 2008.
Okay.
Somewhere there.
So you've been aware of this for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the core tenets of current early childhood development is working on social and emotional skills and recognizing that you are helping someone build their social emotional skills brick by brick, and that includes acknowledging that being at school all day is just like you being at work all day, and when you get home, you decompress.
Right.
And that for an adult, sometimes that's throwing a tantrum. Sometimes that's having, especially if you're a teacher, you end up with the touch fatigue. So you walk in the door and you don't want to be touched anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 or 3 hours, you can't handle any sort of contact with anybody.
Right.
So you go hole up in your room with a book or a video game or whatever, and you're not touching or dealing with anything. But little kids, their fatigue comes out in the source of tantrums and screaming and crying and just not being happy because they have no way to deal with those big emotions. And because these are new emotions for them every time up until they hit 6, 7, 8, when the synapses are pretty well routed. These are new emotions and new things every single time, and they have to figure out how to deal with it every single time.
Ah, interesting. So they're just going to go through it.
They're going to go through it, and as the adult in the equation, your job is to help them go through it too, and find the ways to minimize it and be like, okay, you're having a fit right now. I get it.
Yep.
You can be upset, but you cannot be upset in the middle of the kitchen floor where I'm cooking. It's not safe. I need you to be upset over here in this area where it is safe for you to do so.
Okay. That is, of course, entirely different from how this has been dealt with in past generations.
Yeah.
Even for me, and I came from a very progressive background, as we heard yesterday. Getting upset was not
a thing.
It was a thing. I definitely did it a lot, and I had a lot of that, but stoicism was leaned on there.
Yes.
Be stoic about it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, these emotions it may happen, but it's up to you to not inconvenience others with that.
Right. Right. And I don't know if you heard it, but I definitely heard several times, if you keep crying, I will give you something to cry about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely something that is thankfully falling more by the wayside as we understand more and more that
right,
children are actual people too.
And crying is healthy for everyone.
Yes.
Also,
now that we've taken a sojourn,
there was a point after which it occurred to people not to say that to me, because while I wasn't diagnosed with depression as a child, all the adults looked at me and said, "Oh, you have the cosmic blues." It's like, you know, I'm a little kid and they're telling me I got the cosmic blues. It's like, well, at least they understand why I'm crying, even if I don't. So it was, that wasn't as heavy on me. The if you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. That wasn't done as, but there were times when I heard that a little bit.
Yeah.
But what I really heard was I don't know what was said in retrospect, but what I heard was go cry in private.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay. All right, back to the show.
Yes.
Because they wanted blueberries, but not these blueberries. I hate these blueberries. Go away.
Yes.
Also, alcohol, I think, happens.
Yeah. Brian, this year's hottest aesthetic for decorating your home is being inspired by a certain group of people. Who are they?
Hottest aesthetic, like the vibe?
Like the vibe,
Oh,
the aesthetic, the look.
Goths? I don't know, give me a hint on that.
It's amazing how you can refresh the look in your house when you got the house.
What?
Divorcees.
No.
No, I don't know. What do you...
When you got the house.
Homeowners? Like people who buy a
dumb
house?
Question. This is a dumb question.
I'm going with
We've gone back to the 80s and we're looking for
Let's just
junkyard chic.
Group guess this.
What?
So we've gone back to the early 80s. It's junkyard chic, and it's the making homo chic look good again thing.
Oh, you think that? I'm going with
I think that.
divorcees.
Okay.
I'm going with divorcees.
It's not homeowners?
Garden gnomes?
Garden
I'll
gnomes?
give it. Basically, it's people who have been able to free themselves from the little voice that was holding them back because they got the house and the little voice had to move back in with his mom.
Is it recently divorced people?
It is.
What?
You did get it.
It's actually called Divorced Mom Core.
Oh.
You've heard of cottage core.
Wow.
Divorced
Divorced Mom Core.
Divorced dad core is like,
That's
rough.
Yeah, no.
You don't want to decorate divorced dad core. You don't want to do
see that coffee table? Domino's box.
Divorced Mom Core, it's all about, apparently, the fact that these women finally get to do exactly what they want, indulge the women.
Without a man telling me.
What did you say?
Man cave. That's divorce, man.
No, that is not. That is married man core. And you can tell that because the man cave has stuff in it. Like he said, the divorced man core is gonna be a pizza box on 2 cinder blocks, pallets, not pallets, done nicely, but a pallet as a bed, no legs, just pallet mattress. It's not a good look. It really is not a good look. Man caves, while creepy and disturbing, they at least are, they represent a cross-section of men that have the ability to have stuff to put there. And usually a man cave is well enough kept that it's Thank you, Iggy. That is exactly that's kind of almost exactly what I'm trying to say. Man caves have a distinct border where they don't encroach further into the house, and they have organization, usually. And a divorced man is usually pretty well divorced from organization to begin with.
Honestly, the way you're saying it sounds like the divorced man has no money.
Probably.
Usually. Yup. Because if he didn't lose it in the divorce, he lost it to the lawyer.
Talk about painful gender stereotypes.
You know, I know. But I'm stereotyping straight people.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot you weren't one of us.
I can actually say that.
I'm sorry, and now those guys, that video from yesterday where they were with the fire monkey guy talking about one of us.
Oh god. Okay. Back to the game. Oh,
it's okay, dear. I love you anyway. Even if you are feeling overly attacked right now.
I'm gonna move on before I say anything even worse, because I know I feel them.
Without a man telling me what to do. In Divorced Mom Core, quote, natural light floods the rooms and there's a certain peace that comes with knowing every item in the house reflects their taste, unquote. Like they take down that live, laugh, love sign and put up the live, love, who's laughing now.
Wait a second. If I know most heterosexual couples, the woman is the one who put up the live, laugh, love sign in the first place. It wasn't like, oh man, I got rid of my husband's, like, this is a knitting house or whatever. Like, those things are put up by women.
My husband is like, it's wine o'clock.
Well, I'll be taking this wine o'clock thing in this ball of yarn.
Coming up, it's lightning fill in the blank, but first it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like to play on air, call or leave a message at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. You can see us most
We're
weeks
going
right here at the
into
Studebaker
this
Theater in downtown
even.
Chicago. You should also check out this week's edition of our How to Do Everything podcast featuring the great Tom Hanks, and a fact that will change the way you look at chimpanzees forever. Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi.
Okay.
Alex Pilot from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hey, how are things in Knoxville, Alex?
They're very good. I'm starting to finally feel like fall.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Fall is beautiful in Tennessee. What do you do there?
I'm a medical writer by day, and I make stained glass on evenings and weekends.
Oh, wow, that's incredibly cool. Now, stained glass often is like representational. Do you like do pictures of something in your stained glass?
I pretty much do nature stuff. I like to make flowers and insects and bats and kind of a mix of pretty and creepy and weird things, all of the above.
Well, Alex, welcome to the show. Aisha Rasco right here is going to read you 3 news-related limericks with a last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in that last word or phrase correctly into the limericks, you will be a winner. You ready to go?
Sure thing.
Here is your first limerick.
At the zoo, the lines move at a clip-o. Wave hello, take a pic, and then dippo. Mudang's rosy cheeks make the visitors shriek. But
Hippo.
move on, you can't crowd this young.
Hippo.
Yes, the newest international megastar is Mu Deng, a baby pygmy hippo born in a Thai zoo. Her keeper posted some photos of her on Facebook soon after she was born, and she went globally viral so quickly, quarterback Aaron Rodgers thinks she's a hoax. Mu Deng,
Peanut Gallery just texted me, am I the token straight cis male for the stream? I'm here to tick a DEI box.
You did not.
You're not the only SSI, what did you say? TSSM. You're not the only TSSM. But you do help us tick a DEI box.
Where's my slingshot? Right, I left the slingshot in the other room.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not.
Name roughly translates to bouncy pork, is so irresistibly adorable that this is all true. She has become a makeup.
Also, I think we should put the Get Wrecked Straighty in the merch idea list. Yeah.
Okay, we'll save that.
There's a part of me that wants that on a hoodie hat combo.
We'll save that for another production meeting.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, speaking of that, one of them got bought by Fourth Wall.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's the Stream Elements. I think Stream Elements got their merch stuff got bought out by Fourth Wall. Yep, I noticed it on somebody's stream, and then Dassin __ has been talking about it a bit.
We'll have to look at that then.
Yes. So, probably good that we waited. And I think Fourth Wall is where we're gonna go. We're gonna try and break the fourth wall.
Yeah. There.
All right. Now back to the show.
We will try. So much for lightning.
Right.
I'm just typing
influencer.
again.
Sephora Thailand put up a picture of her with the tip, wear your blush like a baby hippo. Which means like just wallow in mud, right? Here, Alex, is your next limerick.
The pilot gets on the air, sweet. Will the passengers please take their seat? And do not expose your stinky, gross toes. Please refrain from exposing bare
feet.
Oh, feet. Yes. You got the word right and the emotion. People are learning just this week that flying barefoot isn't just something that'll make people glare at you and secretly text about you. It can actually get you kicked off the plane now.
Oh.
Except if you're in an exit row. In an emergency, bare feet count as an extra pair of hands. So people like baring their feet on airplanes have become such a problem that the airlines have had to specify dress requirements as official policies. So, for example, American Airlines policy now prohibits, quote, offensive clothing and bare feet.
Wow.
So if you really want to make flight attendants nuts, just wear offensive shoes and socks. What are they going to do? Make you take them off?
Can they really kick people off?
They really can. They now.
God bless it.
Yeah, I know. Finally, something good in the news, right?
Yeah. But what if you're wearing
I have
flip-flops?
offensive socks, but that's because they didn't get washed for too long.
But your foot's already out.
I've been sitting down and I've seen toes pop from it's always like out the periphery. Like that's a toe there.
That's what you do.
Yeah, it's like that's.
I'm sorry, what?
What costume shoes?
Where did I put them?
I love it. I love it. Yes. That would.
Wear that on the airplane. And that's how you can't go on with your bare feet. I wear shoes.
Right?
All right, here is your last limerick.
Love it.
Gastric winds blow our home life apart. So we
Fart.
found a solution that's smart. We go out for a walk and make sure that we talk so my partner can't tell when I
Fart.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, I'm giving myself that point.
Blogger Marilyn Smith
Yes.
is recommending what she calls nightly fart walks with your partner to help maintain healthy blood sugar and unhealthy boundaries. So we all know that walking right after a meal can help regulate your blood sugar, keep it from spiking. But as
Did
Smith
we?
says, we eat a lot of fiber,
Yeah.
so we have gas.
I didn't.
And you fart when you walk. So she and her husband enjoy what they now refer to as their regular fart walks. It's another way just to let your partner of many years know that you have just given up.
I was going to say, they have a name for this. It's called crop
Has to
dusting.
be on that cycle. Like, what if it's not, hey, man, I'm
That's
just going to wait till
true.
you go to bed to let this out.
yeah.
Versus right
Good
after you
one.
eat and a walk, what if the fart's not ready to leave?
That's why they're perfect partners for each other, because they have the same like fart cycle. Yeah.
That's when you know.
It's
That's
true
when you know.
love.
That's when you know it's love.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I have a thing where we're like, oh my God, same thought. We were thinking the same thing. And the people are like, same fart.
Right.
Oh my God, I was farting the same time that you were.
It's actually kind of nice that they do it as a couple, but why do they make their kid come along to keep score? Aisha, how did Alex do in our quiz?
He did an amazing job. 3 out of 3. Perfect score.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Oh, we're in ad break.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I hope we don't
This
get.
message comes from IBM. Think scaling AI is hard? Think again. With Watson X,
Really? They had to follow it up with IBM?
the clouds, helping
Yep.
pilots navigate flights and on
I mean, we all know that
employees automate tasks on-prem, so designers
everybody
can access
BM.
proprietary data, and on the edge, so remote bank tellers can assist customers. Watson X
Why?
works anywhere, so you can scale
'Cause-
AI everywhere. Learn
Why?
more at IBM.com/WatsonX. IBM. Let's create.
Because fart jokes and potty humor are the pinnacle of humor in many age groups.
You don't have to accept it. It's just
You
a part
know,
of aging.
yep.
Clinicians at MIDI Health understand what you're experiencing and know how to help. MIDI Health provides specialized care for perimenopause and menopause.
And we're
covered
back
by
from ad
insurance.
break.
Book
Welcome
your visit
back,
today at
everybody.
joinmidi.com. That's join at
Brian has 2.
Now on to our final game, Lightning Fill in the Blank. Each of our players will have 60
Can you turn it back up
to
again?
answer as many fill in the blank questions as they can. Each
Thank
correct
you.
answer is now worth 2 points. Aisha, can you get
Oh, turn it back up again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'd turned it back up again.
scores?
Bless you.
Okay, so Peter has 3, Brian has 2, and Karen has 4.
Whoa.
Yes.
All right. Well, this means, Brian, you're in third place. You're up first. The clock will start when I begin your first question, fill in the blank. On Tuesday, Israel took credit for the thousands of electronic devices that exploded in blank. Right. On Thursday, scientists again linked animals at a market in Wuhan with the early spread of blank.
Corona.
Right. This week, the Justice Department announced they were seeking over $100 million from the owners of the ship that destroyed the Key Bridge in blank. Right. On Tuesday, Senate Republicans blocked a bill that would have guaranteed access nationwide to blank.
Healthcare.
IVF?
Yes, in vitro fertilization. This week, experts suggested that one effective way to avoid getting microplastics in your brain is to stop blanking.
Eating plastic?
Cocaine?
No.
Drinking out of plastic
The answer
bottles.
is breathing.
Oh.
On Tuesday, the harvest supermoon coincided with a partial lunar blank.
Eclipse.
Right. On Monday, a leading group of pediatricians warned against buying a blank for your kids.
iPad?
No, trampoline. This week, Australia released data from 2023 revealing that nearly half of all airplane noise complaints came from blank.
Stewardesses? Air flight attendants?
Didgeridoos?
No, came from the very same guy.
Oh. Yeah, his name is Jackie O. Didgeridoo.
Out of the 51,000 noise complaints called in to the Australian Aviation Authority last year, 21,000 came from just one man in Perth, Australia. That
Cheese and
means
crackers.
that on average, he called to complain 59 times a day for an entire year. It's gotten so bad that when you call the 800 number they put up for complaints, the automated message just says, press 1 for Spanish and 2 if this is Jim again. Aisha, how did Brian do in our quiz?
So Brian got 5 right for 10 more points, and Brian now has 12 points and the lead.
All right. Very good, Brian. Peter, I believe you are up next. Fill in the blank. On Wednesday,
What was that?
I was asking you if we could pause for just a moment. I wanted to cover something. Earlier, we went over the hashtag breathing core. Apparently, like every other hashtag, it's now toxic for you, for those microplastics.
You know, you're right.
Wow. The life of a hashtag. It didn't even make it all the way through the show.
I wonder if anybody else notices that before we end the show.
That is a good question. I really don't know if they will. I'm trying to think. There's like not time for somebody to say anything. That I had to say something right then.
Wednesday, the Federal
Okay. Sorry.
Reserve
You're
announced
fine.
a half-point blank cut.
Interest rate.
Right. 3 days after a failed assassination attempt, blank held a rally in Michigan.
Trump.
Right. This week, the WHO declared blank-resistant infections a global health risk.
Antibiotic?
Right.
Yeah.
After denying
Should have been on
report
that.
detailing shocking comments left on a porn site, Mark Robinson vowed to stay in the race for governor of blank.
Pornville.
Florida?
North Carolina.
Right. This week, a beverage maker in Colombia challenged Coca-Cola's trademark so they could freely sell their own drink, blank.
Cola Coca.
No, close. Coca-Cola. This week, research that led to the creation of obesity drugs like blank won the Lasker Medical Award.
Ozempic?
Right.
Yeah.
This week, the hottest calendar for 2025 went on sale. It features a year's worth of pictures of cats showing off blank.
Their
butts.
six-packs.
No, their testicles. So I know what you're thinking. Okay, great. Finally, it's here, but only 12 months of cat testicles? No, no. Don't worry. This is a daily calendar. What? It'll make the perfect gift for anyone looking for a good laugh or hoping to test just how strict their office's HR policies are. Aisha, how did Peter do on our quiz?
So Peter got 5 right for...
What was that?
Or for that truly testy person you know.
I realize I'm mean. I do not require one.
Hey,
nope.
If you hang it on the wall, it really balls to the wall.
No. No, I am... No, you are not... Nope, I'm not... Nope.
5 right for 10 more points, and so he now has 13, and Karen needs 5 more to win.
All right, then. Karen, this is for the game. Fill in the blank. On Tuesday, a judge denied bail to hip-hop mogul blank.
Diddy.
Yes, also known as Sean Combs. According to experts, the Starlink satellites launched by blank are interfering with astronomical
SpaceX?
observations.
Russia?
No, they launched by Elon Musk. This week, the Teamsters Union declined to endorse a candidate for
Yeah,
blank.
that's SpaceX.
Right. According to a new study, 3 cups of blank a day may be good for your heart.
Coffee?
Right. This week, a state senator in Kentucky is recovering well after he drove blank into blank.
A car into a hay bale.
No, a riding lawnmower into his swimming pool. This week, police dispatchers in Dover, Delaware are being praised for their quick actions in helping rescue a sinking boat in blank.
The ocean.
A bathtub?
You could have just said the water also.
Yeah,
that would have been even more.
It was actually
Am I wrong?
in Dover, England. When a man saw his brother's boat was sinking in the English Channel, he quickly Googled the phone number for the Dover police, clicked the first result, and was connected to a dispatcher 3,500 miles away in Dover, Delaware. Thankfully, the operators acted quickly. They got rescue services dispatched to the sinking ship, and they should arrive sometime within the next 2 months. Aisha, did Karen Chi do well enough to win?
No.
Oh.
No.
So Karen got 3 right for 6 more points. So with 13 points, Peter is this week's champion.
Well done. In just a minute, we're going to ask our panelists to predict what will be the big news to come out of the Rat Summit in New York City. But first, let me tell you all that Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with Urgent Haircut Productions' Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord. Philip Goedeke writes our limericks. Our public address announcer is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shana Donald. Thanks to the staff and crew at the Studebaker Theater. And this week, we want to note the passing of our friend, the journalist and author Neil King Jr. He did a lot of remarkable things in his life. But to us, the most impressive was helping to raise his daughter, Lillian King, our beloved colleague and friend here at Wait, Wait. Our condolences to Lillian, her sister Frances, and their mother, Shayla Murray. We love you, Tilly. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Dernbos, and Lillian King. Special thanks this week to Monica Hickey, our celebrity pygmy hippo, Peter Gwynn. Emma Choi is our vibe curator. Technical directions from Lorna White. Her CFO is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillog. And the executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mr. Michael Danforth. Now, panel, what would be the big news out of the big Rat Summit in New York City? Brian Babylon.
Rats will get a tax break for adopting Ninja Turtles.
Karen G.
We're gonna stop giving them grasshoppers.
And Peter Gross.
Gary Oldman will unveil his flawless, brilliant plan to turn all the rats into wood glue.
And if any of that happens, we'll ask you about it on Wait.
Peanut Gallery said Rat Summit, Splinter is appointed as world leader. I think he gets a point for that one.
Oh, definitely.
Ask you about it on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you so much, Aisha Roscoe, who did such a fabulous job filling Bill Curtis's impressive shoes. Thanks also to Karen Chi, Brian Babylon, and Peter Gross. Thanks to our fabulous audience here at the Studebaker Theater, each and every one of you. Thanks to everybody who's listening at home or wherever you may be. I'm Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week in Kansas City, Mo.
This is NPR.
This message comes from NPR sponsor.
What's our final score?
So, Peanut Gallery has 2, but they're extra credit points, so they count extra. Kat has 16, and I have 22.
Yep.
We're getting closer to the old scores.
Yeah.
Thank you, friends, for joining us for this episode of some Sunday Shenanigans. And of course, stick around for the raid. Thank you, everybody in chat. Iggy Marauder, Lockpick, Retro Future Now. Am I missing anybody in chat?
I don't think so.
All right. And, well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Peanut Gallery and Kat. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all. Oh, I forgot to say, stick around for the raid. We're going to be raiding out to Chris into 386 on the Sunday No Pants raid train, hosted by our own Lockpick. Much love, Lockpick. And see you later, Iggy.